What's going on, guys? Hair's a little wet right now. Just got out of the shower. It's currently like 11 p.m. Currently in Arizona, Phoenix right now. Guys, I want to talk to you about visions because one of the biggest driving factors for me, the reason I wake up, the reason I work hard in the gym and on my business, and the reason I do anything at all, I feel like everyone has that one motivator, that one thing they strive for. For me, I have these visions in my head of what I see my life looking like. And, it's gonna sound super typical. It's gonna sound like, oh, everyone wants the fast car and the penthouse and the girl, and, that like lifestyle. Wherever that is, like super warm year round, the online money, like everyone wants that lifestyle. But I don't know, for me, I have these visions of that exact life. And, for me, my favorite supercar, again, it's gonna sound super cringe, but the Lamborghini SVJ is the coolest fucking car on planet Earth. It is so cool. It's just fucking loud, and it just pops and it bangs, and it's just fucking sick, and it's loud. So that car, I just vision myself driving that car like every single day, like down to the last like detail, like yellow with like black like accents, with like the yellow calipers, and you go inside and it's just like black with yellow, and it's fucking sick as hell. And it's got the big spoiler on the back, and it says SVJ on the side, and it's got the flame tune with like a Gintani exhaust. Like, it's just fucking sick as hell, and it's specced out, and it's loud, and it's raspy, and like I can give you guys like the exact detail from what I want my life to look like. And every day that I wake up, I have these visions in my mind of what my life is going to look like. And the penthouse, and I'm not crazy about like a cool like penthouse. I honestly just want the car and like somewhere to stay, and being around like you guys are gonna hear some cool ass cars, hopefully like some really cool ones fly. There's a lot of like Mustangs around here. We're currently in like I said, Arizona, Phoenix, but yeah, it's a pretty cool area. But I think that everyone has these like visions of what they think they could achieve, or like they have an idea of like kind of what they want. But this is like the driving factor for me. Like, anytime I don't want to do something, I just envision what my life could look like. And you guys might say, oh, it's materialistic, and like you shouldn't just want physical possessions. Bro, like I'm not made to be average. I'm not made to be like everyone else. Like, look in this parking lot right now. Like, all these cars are just like the same. Like, they're just the same. Everyone driving them is the same. There's nothing really that special about any of these people, bro. Like, all these cars driving by, like they work at a 9-to-5 job. Like, and that's fine. Like, that's cool. But that's not what I was put on this earth to do. That's not why I'm here. I was made to do something big. I was made to make a huge impact. I was put here to make a big impact on the world. And, the reason I make these videos is because if there's somebody watching who's in any way, getting some sort of value from it, or like their life improves because they heard something I said, or I improve someone's life in any possible way, like that's why I make these videos. Another thing is I want to see myself grow, and I want to hold myself accountable for my actions. And 3 years ago, I started a window cleaning company with my brother. Now, had I documented that entire process, of us starting, and I might make more videos on like kind of in depth, like the things we struggled with at the beginning, how we overcame them, because I think that's important to document, especially someone who wants to start their own business. And dropping out of university, like these are all things that people go through. And had I documented the process, or like the journey from dropping out of university, starting the business, investing more money into it, our first couple of days of selling at the door, Like, that would have been a crazy ass story to post. That would have been sick as hell to put that online. So here we are 3 years later, and kind of at like the end of it, where I still want to pull parts from our story and talk about them because I think it's important. But I want to see myself grow through these videos. Like, this is my 3rd or 4th video. Like, I want to watch these back in, like, you know, months later or like a year later and be like, bro, this guy could not speak. Like, this guy's speaking so weird. Like, he's stuttering. He's like, you know, he's saying like a lot. He's saying a lot. You know, he's not as confident. He's not as like passionate as like, he's not speaking as passionate as he could be. Like, I want to look back on these videos and be like, yo, like, I way better. Like, I want to see growth in myself. And the only way to do that is to get out of your comfort zone. And that's kind of been like the theme of this week, I guess, is like growth. And the only way that growth happens is, and again, like, I'm not going to speak on something that I have no experience about. I'm going to speak on something that I've lived, something that I have a, like, not like a strong opinion on, but like something I truly believe and that I have lived and I have experience in. And the biggest like leaps in my life, so whether it was going from like skinny to putting on some muscle like quick, you know, like newbie gains phase, or, you know, making my first like $1,000 in one day, or dropping out of university, like, these were all huge stepping points in my life. But those things did not happen because I was like happy and like I was, you know, for sure I was motivated because I was motivated to like change, but the motivation itself wasn't like a positive thing. Like, I'm so happy I get to like change. Anytime I grew in my life, anytime I got better quicker than everyone else, or like the time period it took me to go from one place to another, whether it was my business, whether it was my physique, whether it was my social skills, my confidence, it happened because of something negative that was going on in my life that I wanted to change. So, for example, the gym. I was so skinny and I was so insecure about myself, and I was so introverted. I just wanted to hide. I hated being around groups of people. I hated like sticking out in front of people. And I was so tall. I was like taller than everyone else, and I was skinny, and you can see my bones. Like, I hated that. Now, that's the biggest motivator to go into the gym. Now, you can take it two ways. You could either, I think I mentioned this in the last video, like, you have two options when you're faced with like a trial or like a tribulation or like something really hard in your life that you hate, like anxiety, depression. You have two options. You can either stay the same. I guess you have three, now that I think about it. You have three. You can either stay the same and do nothing about it, which in turn, I guess, is kind of like almost going backwards, because as humans, we're meant to progress and to grow and get stronger and smarter, and like, you're meant to progress as your life goes on in a positive way, I think. And so you can either stay the same, you can either get worse, because those negative addictions or those negative emotions or the thing that's really bad in your life is like taking you down a different directions, where you're like smoking, you know, fucking pornography, you know, alcohol, drugs. Like, you can go down a worse path, or you can take that energy and put it towards something positive. And that's what I did. I never saw myself wanting to go towards the negative way in life. And guys, I'm not saying like, oh, I was perfect, like I was just like, yes, like all on self-improvement. Like, there was times in my life where you know, I just like fucking, these cars are loud as hell, boys, but like, yeah, there was times in my life where, like, you know, you'd relapse, or you'd like be on self-improvement and then you'd fuck up, and then you go back to your addictions for a bit, and then then you're back on self-improvement. Like, of course that happens. Like, that's how I think it's how you get better, is you slowly progress. And so it wasn't like this overnight just like mind switch of like, you know, like, I'm gonna forget all my bad habits and just go all in on self-improvement and like be super great. It wasn't like that. It was a slow like process, but when I did put in the work, I put in the work. Like, when I was at the gym, I was sad, I was depressed, I was like lonely, I was angry, I had anxiety. Like, I felt all these things when I first got into the gym, and I just wanted to hide. Like, I wanted to work out and like, you know, fucking lift weights and get stronger, but like, I didn't want anyone to see me because I didn't know if I was doing something wrong, or like I felt like people were judging me. Like, guys, I felt these things. And, you know, it's funny because now I have, you know, I've been working out for 6 years now. Don't compare yourself to me, by the way. Like, where you are now, don't compare yourself where I am now, because I've had 6 years of going to the gym in my experience, like going. And I like to think I've been pretty consistent going. And, you know, when I'm in the gym, I do strive to work as hard as possible. Now, there's days I'm like, fuck, I don't want to work out. And, you know, I still end up going. But I would say overall, the biggest shifts in my life came from the most negative emotions. Now, I transfer those emotions into a positive, right? Like, I didn't go down the road of, you know, drinking and smoking and like all these addictions. Like, that wasn't my come up. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what some of you guys are going through when I personally don't know. But I can say, for one, is that your life will never get worse if you work as hard as possible in the gym, if you eat right, if you, I would say, progress as a person. And like, even if you're not shutting off your addictions like immediately, I don't know, because I don't want to talk about this because I'm not super, like, I've never been like addicted to like smoking or drugs. I've never tried a drop of I've never tried alcohol, or I've tried alcohol. I've never tried drugs. I've never tried weed. I've never tried these things. I can't relate to you guys on that level. I know I'm super scattered. I want to dial in. I'm going to dial in these videos on certain like topics. So I guess this one for the week is growth. Having a growth mindset. And like, anytime things get hard, anytime things are difficult, where you've pushed the limit, that's where the growth happens. I'll relate it to the gym, for example. If you go to work out and you do everything that you normally do every single time you go, you know, so you do like, we'll say for example, like you're on chest, you're doing the bench press. You know, you do your set, you know, 4 sets of 12 or 3 sets of 12, whatever it is, and you always do like, I don't know, 1 plate, whatever, 135. You know, you do the same way every single time. You're not gonna improve, you're not gonna grow. You only grow when it's really, really hard, and then you push yourself through another one, and then another one, and then you fail. Because you try so hard and your muscles physically cannot move the weight anymore, and then you fail. That's when the growth happens. That's when you made improvements. That's when your old self slowly dies and you become a new person. You become stronger. Your muscles are adapting to this new force, this new like energy, this new like movement. Like, you're literally getting stronger through the failure. That's how you grow. It's impossible to grow and be comfortable at the same time. It's impossible. You cannot grow and be comfortable in the same time. They contradict each other. Being comfortable means staying the same, means there's no advancement. There's no improvement. And so anytime you're anxious, anytime you're stressed out, anytime you're worried, you're depressed, you're sad, you're angry, you're negative, negative, you can be negative from those things, or those things can make you negative, but you can take those things and put them in a positive direction. Anytime you feel any of those emotions, that's your body telling you to make a change. And people look at stress and anxiety, and they look at all these, you know, sadness and anger, they look at it as a negative thing, but that's because people use it as a negative thing. Stress is essentially telling your body that you need to change something. Sadness is telling your body you need to change something. Being angry is... What is anger? I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, guys. Anger is like... So you're angry about something. Let's think about this. Let me think. So you're super angry about something. Like, fuck. Like, you know, let's say your girl broke up with you. Like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Whatever. Boom. Why did she break up with you? Were you smoking? Were you vaping? Or were you a nerd? Were you missing the gym? Did she have to force you to get out of bed? You know, were you one of these guys where you needed your girl to come up to you to tell you to get off the video games? If you are, then you have to make a change because she left you and you got angry. What are you going to do with the anger? You're going to get worse or are you going to get better? I'll snap this chair. But I really want this video to be about growth and this week as a whole, because I'm trying to grow as much as possible. I'm trying to get smarter. I'm trying to get stronger. I'm trying to build a new business. And like me just talking on camera, like I'm out of my comfort zone right now. It might look like, I don't know what it looks like, honestly. But I'm hoping now in like a week and a month from now, I look back on this video and I see all the things that I could have done better. I see someone who's not as confident. I see someone who's slurring his words, or he's not developed his vocabulary. Like, I want to see these flaws in myself a week or like a month from now, like a year from now, because that means I've grown as a person. And I'm not going to sit here and talk to you guys and be like, oh, I'm so comfortable. This is so like easy for me. Like, this is brand new to me. And I'm just kind of giving you guys my truth and my story and my thoughts and opinions, and just being completely like raw and authentic to you guys. And if I stutter, I'm just gonna leave it in, and I'm just gonna have to get better. But I'm not gonna get better at making these videos without making the videos. It's like when we first started doing door to door, my brother and I, we first started doing it. We saw someone take a random stranger down the sales process door to door, and we saw them make $250 in 5 minutes talking to someone you've never met. I was like, damn, that's crazy. And so as soon as I saw it, I knew it was possible. Now, me going to the door and talking to people, guys, I wasn't great at sales at the beginning. You know, at the beginning I was like, I saw the information, I had the info, and I knew I could do it myself, but it wasn't like this long, I mean, it kind of was quick though. Like, the way I was brought into sales, it low-key was instant. As soon as I saw someone sell, I was hooked, and like, I sold my second door, Quinn sold his first door. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys and be like, oh, like selling was a long process. Bro, as soon as I saw someone sell, as soon as I had the information, I was hooked, bro. I just downloaded the info. And you know, I'm not gonna tell you guys this if it wasn't true. I'm telling you this because you can do it too. Doesn't matter what part of your life it is, you know, you can download the information and have it right away and implement it immediately. And maybe that's what I should do here. You know, looking back on myself when I first started sales, for me and my brother, it just clicked. Like, we had the info, we saw it, we downloaded it, and it just clicked for us. Now, what I will relate it to is some of the guys we brought onto our company. You know, some of the guys that were selling at the door that became our salesmen. You know, they come out, they knock some doors, and you know, they get like discouraged or whatever. They feel like they're doing something wrong. It's like, the whole point is to just get the reps in. The whole point is to start and just be consistent. You don't need to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Everyone thinks, and guys, myself included, anytime I post like a video, it's a little better now. Like, I'm kind of forcing myself to like post some of these videos on like Insta and be like, okay, this one's fine, like this one's okay. But like, most of the time, or the way it used to be, I was so critical of myself. It had to be like the most perfect video, like the captions had to be the most perfect font, like the perfect song, like I couldn't stutter, like, and that's good for, you know, getting better, but not to the point where you're not even gonna post at all because the video you don't like wasn't like, you don't think it was perfect. But the point isn't for it to be perfect. The point is for you to make progress and be consistent. Start and be consistent. That's all you have to do when you first start something. So somebody knocking doors for the first time, you know, they're gonna suck. It's gonna be, you know, they're gonna be out of their comfort zone. They're gonna be doing something they've never done before. That's the whole entire point. And so whenever you're stressed, you're angry, you're mad, depressed, anytime you have these negative emotions, your body is telling you, life is telling you to change something. This is when you grow the most, because you have the most motivation, guys. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and it goes. Your girl breaks up with you, you have so much motivation. You can either put that to a negative place, or you can put that to a positive place. But you have this emotion, this anger, this pent-up aggression, this like energy. Also, guys, one of the things I want to get way better at like making these videos is like when people do like walk by and everything, I just want to keep like talking. Like I just want to keep going, keep like, that's one of the things I do need to get better at. And so I can see myself like, that's what I can get better at. I'm not going to get better at that thing unless I do it when it happens. It's kind of like approaching a girl. You're not going to get better at approaching if you don't approach girls. And guys are so afraid to do it because they don't want to be judged. They don't want people to make fun of them. They're scared of the rejection. You know, they're scared what people are going to say or think or like see. Bro, you're not going to get any better at doing something without doing it. It's impossible. The whole point of getting better at something is that you've tried it, you've probably failed, it probably sucked, but you tried it again and again and again, and then you see improvement, and then you get a bit better, and then you get a bit better, and then maybe you analyze what you did and how you can do it better next time, and then you do it again. That's the whole point of improvement, but you have to get these reps in. You guys hear that? Bro, that's a Lambo. Bro. Like, that right there gives me the motivation. That gives me the motivation to make these videos. Like, someone else has that car, and it's not me. And I want that car so fucking bad. And, you know, it's not a bad thing to want things. It's not a bad thing to, like, obsess over getting something. It's a bad thing if you put it as, like, your idol. Like, you worship it. And maybe I sound like I'm worshiping it right now, but I'm just passionate. I want that car. You know what I mean? And I'm going to work as hard as possible to get it. And a lot of you guys are like, oh, you don't work for, like, you're so materialistic, dude. Like, guys, you have to have something you, like, strive for. Like, you have to have a goal. You know, it doesn't have to be materialistic things. It can be, like, provide for your family or, like, provide for, you know, yourself or, like, whatever it is. Like, have a goal or, like, have a vision in your head of what your life could look like and then make it happen. And so anytime, like, I see, for example, this is me, guys, like, I'm just gonna be completely honest, transparent, like, raw, unfiltered, Peyton here. Anytime I see a car or, like, see someone in a car that I don't have, I get fucking pissed off. I get annoyed. I get angry. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, like, I'm happy for them, like, good job. Like, I get fucking angry. Like, if I saw some guy pull up in a Lambo right now, I'm like, low-key, like, part of me is like, low-key, fuck you, because I want it. And is that good? Probably not. Is it negative? Yes. But that feeling, that fire, is what's gonna motivate me to get one myself. And a lot of you guys, and me included, guys, like, I don't always have this fire. So, you know, God, it's funny, before I got my Mustang, all right, I had a 2024 Mustang Dark Horse, and before I got that car, I saw Mustangs everywhere, bro. It's God's way of taunting you. It's his way of, like, showing you the life that you could have, and you have a decision to either go for that goal or to, like, not go for it at all. It's kind of like when you think about something or, like, think of something that you want, you see it everywhere, right? So for me, I saw the Mustang, like, literally everywhere. I was like, anytime I go down the road or, like, go on a walk or, like, drove like, anywhere, I would always see the Mustang. And anytime I'd see it, I'd get, like, pissed off, like, fuck, like, I want it. And then I'd get motivated, and then I would put that energy towards getting the car. You guys understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of like God's way of, like, keeping you on your toes, keeping you, like, moving forward. Also, do you guys see what I did there? I don't know if you guys heard it. There was a guy that walked by and I kept speaking. Improvement, boys, improvement. We're getting better. But anyway, yeah, that's just me, though. So overall, guys, you don't grow unless you're uncomfortable. If you're uncomfortable, it's a good thing. The point is to start and to fail, but to keep moving forward. Keep moving the ball forward, because you're never gonna fail if you never give up. And it's gonna sound cringe and annoying, and you probably heard it like a million times, but it's so true. And I'm at the point in my life, like, I'm just starting this whole, like, online business stuff. I've ran a business myself for 3 years straight. We've done over 7 figures going door to door window cleaning. I'm brand new to the whole online space, guys. But this is a new journey for me, and this is something I'm gonna get better at. I'm gonna get better speaking at the camera. I'm gonna stay consistent. I'm gonna record when I don't want to record. And these videos are gonna keep me accountable. And I hope you guys, the guys who, anyone watching this right now, keep me accountable as well. Like, I'm gonna keep myself accountable. Making these videos is gonna keep me accountable. You don't grow unless you're uncomfortable, unless you're doing something you've never done before. You're pushing the limit. If you've done something 1,000 times, like I've gone to the gym so many times in my life, and I'm 21, but I've been going to the gym for 6 years straight, basically 6 days a week, for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. And the amount of sets, the amount of reps I've done to achieve this body, like that doesn't happen without pushing the limits. You have to push the limits. Now, just starting out, you start, you fail, but you keep going, you keep moving forward, you keep getting better. Every single day you keep getting better. But if you've done something for a long time, you haven't grown, that's your time to push the limit. Go when it gets hard, and go when you normally quit, and then do it just a bit more. That's the growth. This whole part over here, this doesn't matter. This is just the build up. It's like the warm up. But this is where the growth happens. It's this, and you're missing this. If you're stuck in a spot right now, you're stuck financially, whatever amount a month, whatever 10K a month, or even 10K is like pretty good, but like you're stuck at a certain amount per month and you want to make more. I want to make 100K a month. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I want to make 100K a month, and online, that's my goal. And now I'm not even close to that goal right now, but I'm going to make it happen. The only way I'm going to make it happen is if I slowly progress every single day, and I get to the point where I normally quit, I normally go home, I normally stop working. I'm just going to work another hour, and then another hour, and then slowly this builds into your normal daily routine. Your habits become your lifestyle, but the only way you get habits is when you do something over a period of time. You're telling yourself you're not going to settle for anything less. I'm kind of rambling on right now, but these are just my thoughts. But overall, growth doesn't happen without being uncomfortable. I'm going to keep repeating that, because anytime I'm uncomfortable, anytime I don't want to wake up, anytime I don't want to get in the shower, and the cold shower, anytime I don't want to work, anytime I don't want to make a video or, knock doors or whatever it is, whatever I don't want to do, I need to realize that's where the growth happens. And also understand, everyone else has gotten to the same point and they've quit. I used to tell myself, I'll give you guys a quick story before I end the video here. I used to tell myself when I was at Western University, I would run around like the campus, and what I would do is when I wanted to quit, when I wanted to give up, when I wanted to just like walk the rest of the way and stop running, I would tell myself, I would yell it out loud. I would say, this is where most people quit. This is where most people quit. This is where they quit. This is where they quit. And that would tell my brain that this is where most people get to. And I don't want to be where most people are. I want to be the best version of Peyton. And so I'd tell myself, I would say it out loud. It's kind of like David Goggins being like, yeah, they don't know me, son. Who's going to carry the boats? They don't know me, son. You know what I mean? Like that. Shout out David Goggins. But that was my way of pushing through wanting to quit. And I think that's like, even 3 years later, looking back on that, like, damn, like even Peyton, like he knew, like you have to push the limits in order to grow. In order to grow. To keep that in, fuck it. But anyway, guys, that was the main point of this video. It's growth and also visions. I want to talk more about visions another time, because God has put these visions in my head. I'm never going to get rid of them. They're never going to leave unless I achieve them, until I achieve them. And then I'll have new visions, and until I get the SVJ, I'm probably going to want like a McLaren 765 LT. And then I'm probably going to want like an Aston Martin Vanquish. And then or Vantage, or whatever it is. And then I'm probably going to want a, fucking Ferrari 812 Superfast. And then I'm probably going to want a Bugatti. Like, you have to get to the point of where you achieve what you've been envisioning in your head. And then at that point, like, of course, sit back and like be thankful. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm the bottom of the barrel. Like, I've had my dream car. Like, I've had a Mustang Dark Horse. Like, it's the only car I wanted. And now after driving it, I want a Lamborghini. Like, that's just the way of life. Humans are always going to want more. Now, it's important to not get sucked up in, like, always wanting things. Like, oh, I always need to strive for more. But, like, it's important to sit back every once in a while and be like, okay, like, I'm thankful for how far I've been. And look back on how far you've come and how you've got to where you are today. Right? Super important. It's another video for another time. But I realized making these videos, I'm super scrambled, I'm all over the place. I'm gonna get better at making them the more I do them, and I'm gonna continue to be like honest and give you my raw opinions and thoughts and experiences, and hopefully I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna improve. Not hopefully, I will get better. I will improve. It's a mindset end of the day, right, boys? But yeah, let's we're gonna have a great week here, and I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna continue to improve, and anytime I'm uncomfortable, I'm gonna know that that's God's way of showing me, like, that's when I grow, that's when I get better, that's when I improve, that's when I become a new person, is when you're uncomfortable and you push forward, you push through it. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.